Did you know that after 50, women can lose up to 1 to 2% of muscle mass every single year? And just one fall could completely change your life. Not just physically, but your confidence, your independence, your freedom to live the way you want to. This silent decline makes standing up, walking, and keeping your balance harder than it needs to be. But here's what nobody tells you. This is not your fault, and it is not inevitable. With 5 simple, safe, no-equipment exercises and just 4 weeks of consistent practice, you can rebuild your strength, restore your stability, and move with real confidence again. And the last exercise is something even many trainers don't know about. Stay until the end to discover it, because it ties everything together. The main reason balance and mobility decline after 50 is not simply getting older. It's a condition called sarcopenia, the gradual, progressive loss of muscle mass and strength. Many women think it's inevitable, a natural part of aging they just have to accept. But science tells a completely different story. With the right targeted movements, your muscles can respond, rebuild, and grow stronger at any age. Even in your 70s, even in your 80s. The women who stay strong and independent into their later years aren't lucky. They're doing specific things that most women have never been shown. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what those things are. Each exercise in this video is safe for your joints, easy to do at home, and requires absolutely no equipment. And exercise number 5 is a hidden movement that delivers results most women never experience because they've simply never been taught it. You do not want to miss it.
Exercise 1. Glute bridge. Rebuild your foundation and free your lower back. We're starting here, and most people would not expect this. Not with squats, not with walking. We're starting on the floor. Because the foundation of everything, your posture, your stability, your ability to move without pain, begins with one muscle group most women have completely stopped using. If you regularly feel stiffness or aching in your lower back, or notice that standing for more than a few minutes leaves you uncomfortable, or feel like your core just isn't as solid as it used to be, weak glutes are very likely the reason, and most women never make that connection. The gluteus maximus, the largest muscle in your entire body, does far more than most people realize. It supports your pelvis, protects your spine, powers almost every movement you make below the waist. When these muscles weaken, your lower back and hips absorb forces they were never designed to handle alone. Posture deteriorates, stability reduces, and that familiar ache settles in. The glute bridge is one of the safest and most effective ways to wake these muscles back up. No equipment, done lying down, completely gentle on your joints. And beyond the glutes, it also engages your hamstrings, lower back, and deep core muscles simultaneously, building the kind of full foundation that makes every other movement in your day feel easier. A study in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy found that glute bridges improve core stability and measurably reduce lower back discomfort in older adults. Not after months, after weeks. Here's how to do it. Lie on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, arms resting calmly by your sides. Position your feet about hip width apart, close enough that your fingertips can just brush your heels. Press through your heels and lift your hips toward the ceiling until your knees, hips, and shoulders form one straight line. Squeeze your glutes firmly at the top for 2 full seconds. Then lower slowly and with full control. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you lift. If it feels difficult at first, start with smaller lifts. Even lifting a few inches activates the right muscles. A cushion under your hips can help if you need it. To increase the challenge, hold the top position for 5 seconds, or place a light resistance band just above your knees to bring your outer hips into the movement as well. One thing to watch, avoid arching your lower back at the top. The lift should come from your hips driving upward, not your spine bending backward. Feel the squeeze in your glutes. That's where the work belongs. A viewer named Teresa, 61 years old, told me she began doing glute bridges every morning before she even got out of bed. Before long, she noticed she could get up from the floor more easily after gardening, felt less lower back tension by the end of the day, and her daughter told her she was standing taller. She hadn't changed anything else, just this one movement every day. That's what happens when you give your body the support it's quietly been asking for. Exercise 2. Heel raises. Strengthen your calves and steady your every step. Have you ever felt unsteady stepping off a curb? Or noticed your legs feeling heavy and tired after standing for just a short while? Or felt your ankle wobble slightly on uneven ground and your heart jump into your throat? Your calf muscles could be at the center of all of that. Here's something most women don't know. The calves, especially the gastrocnemius and soleus, are more than just muscles for walking. They act like a natural pump, pushing blood back up toward the heart against gravity. They provide stability every single time you take a step, and they are the first muscles to respond when you begin to stumble. They are your body's first line of defense against falling. As we age, these muscles often weaken simply from lack of targeted use. Regular walking doesn't challenge them enough. The result? Slowed circulation, ankle swelling, and a reduced ability to catch yourself when your balance is tested. Heel raises are a simple yet powerful way to strengthen this critical area. Studies published in Gait and Posture show that targeted calf strengthening can significantly improve postural control and reduce fall risk in older women. And the best part? You can do this exercise anywhere, while brushing your teeth, waiting for the kettle to boil, standing at the kitchen sink. 3 minutes, hidden inside your existing day. Here's how. Stand tall, feet hip-width apart. Hands resting lightly on the back of a chair or countertop for balance if needed. Press through the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as comfortable. Hold that top position for a brief moment, really feeling your calves working. Then lower your heels slowly and with full control back to the floor. Aim for 10 to 15 repetitions, 2 or 3 sets. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Slow is the key word here. A fast heel raise does a fraction of the work of a slow one. Take 3 seconds to rise, hold for 1, and take 3 seconds to lower. That timing changes everything. To make it easier, lift just halfway or keep more weight on your support. To make it more challenging, try one leg at a time, or stand on a small step so your heels can drop slightly below the edge before lifting. One of my viewers, Linda, began heel raises after feeling nervous about her balance on her daily walks. In just 1 month, she noticed her legs felt lighter, her ankles more stable, and she could stand at the kitchen counter for much longer without discomfort. Such a small addition to her day, such a noticeable difference in how she moved through it. Exercise 3. Chair squats. Strengthen your legs and reclaim your independence. I want you to try something before I explain this one. Stand up from where you're sitting right now. No hands, just your legs. How did that feel? For millions of women over 50, that simple act has quietly become one of the hardest things they do all day. You might notice yourself pushing off with your hands, or feeling unsteady as you rise, or hesitating before you even try. That hesitation matters because it's your body telling you something important. This is often due to weakened quadriceps and glutes, the powerhouse muscles that support nearly every movement you make in your lower body. When these muscles lose strength, daily activities like climbing stairs, walking longer distances, getting up from the floor after playing with grandchildren, or simply rising from a chair become harder than they should be. And fall risk quietly climbs in the background. Chair squats are a safe, joint-friendly way to reverse that trend.
Research published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy has shown that consistent sit-to-stand training can improve lower body strength and functional performance by more than 30% in older adults, directly reducing fall risk. Think about what 30% more leg strength means in real life. Getting off the toilet without grabbing the wall, rising from a low sofa without struggling, climbing stairs without white-knuckling the railing. That's not a small thing. That's your independence. Here's how to do it. Start seated on a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Chest lifted, core gently engaged. Press firmly through your heels and rise to standing in a slow, controlled motion. Avoid leaning too far forward or using momentum. As you lower back down, control the descent and gently touch the chair before rising again. Inhale on the way down, exhale as you stand. The controlled lowering is just as important as the rising. Most women rush the way down. Don't. That slow descent is where half the strength is built. To make it easier, place a cushion on the chair to reduce the distance, or hold the sides of the chair lightly for balance. To increase the challenge, extend your arms forward or hold a light weight close to your chest. Whatever version you choose, make sure your knees track in line with your toes. Never let them collapse inward. Small, steady movements protect your joints and train your balance at the same time. When I worked with Maria, she was 62 when she started. In her first week, she could only manage 6 chair squats before feeling fatigued. She committed to practicing every day, adding just 1 or 2 more repetitions each week. By the end of 4 weeks, she was performing 15 full repetitions without using her hands. She no longer needed to grip the stair railing for support. This one exercise gave her back the strength and confidence she thought she had lost for good. Exercise 4. Side leg raises. Strengthen your hips and stop the sideways wobble. Have you ever felt your body drift slightly from side to side when you walk? Or struggled to stay balanced when stepping around an obstacle or reaching to the side for something? Most women blame their legs, but the real culprit is often hiding much higher up, a deep hip muscle called the gluteus medius. This muscle works like a stabilizing anchor, keeping your pelvis level and your body centered every time your foot lifts off the ground. Every single step you take, this muscle is working to prevent you from tipping to the side. When it weakens, and it weakens in almost every woman who doesn't specifically train it, your body compensates. Your knees turn inward. Your lower back absorbs forces it was never designed to handle. And the gentle side-to-side sway that develops in your walk quietly increases your fall risk, even on completely flat ground. Side leg raises directly target this overlooked muscle. Research in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy has shown that gluteus medius training can significantly reduce lateral sway during walking, one of the strongest measurable predictors of fall risk in older women. Here's how to do it. Stand tall beside a wall or sturdy chair for support. Keeping both legs straight and your toes pointing forward, slowly lift one leg directly out to the side. Pause for a moment at the top, then lower the leg back down in a fully controlled motion. Aim for 10 to 15 repetitions on each side, 2 or 3 sets. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. If you're just starting, lift only a few inches, that's enough. The range matters far less than the control. If you're ready for more, loop a light resistance band around your ankles or thighs for added tension. Always keep your torso upright and avoid leaning to the side as you lift. The moment you lean, your hip stops doing the work. Keep the effort in the hip, not the momentum. I heard from a viewer named Janet, 65 years old. She started with tiny lifts, barely a hand's width from the floor, worried she'd lose her balance entirely. After just 3 weeks of steady practice, she not only increased her lift height significantly, but noticed something she hadn't expected. She could walk on gravel paths without feeling wobbly. The ground beneath her feet hadn't changed, but the muscles holding her steady above it had.
You've made it to the final exercise, and this one is the reason I told you to stay until the end. Most fitness advice for women over 50 focuses on strength, and strength matters enormously. But there's a layer beneath strength that determines whether you stay on your feet, and it's almost never taught. Dynamic balance, the ability to stay steady while your body is actively in motion. You might feel perfectly stable standing still or walking on a flat, familiar surface, but step onto uneven ground, turn your head quickly while moving, navigate a busy pavement or reach for something while walking, and suddenly your body has to make dozens of rapid micro-adjustments just to keep you upright. As we age, the systems that coordinate those adjustments, your muscles, your joints, and your nervous system, gradually slow down. The signals between your feet and your brain take longer. Your reactions become less sharp, and falls become more likely, not because you're weaker, but because your balance system has quietly stopped being challenged. Walking doesn't fix this. Walking is too familiar, too predictable. Your body does it on autopilot. It doesn't have to think. And when it doesn't have to think, it doesn't adapt. The tandem stance walk forces it to think. By placing one foot directly in front of the other in a narrow line, you remove the wide, stable base your body normally relies on. Every step becomes a small balance challenge. Your core engages, your ankles work harder, your nervous system wakes up and starts making the rapid micro-corrections it stopped making years ago. Research in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity has shown that balance-focused walking drills like this improve walking speed, reduce lateral sway, and significantly lower fall risk in older women. And unlike strength exercises, the results transfer directly and immediately to real life. The same coordination you build here is the same coordination that catches you when you stumble. Here's how to do it. Stand tall, shoulders relaxed, eyes locked on a fixed point straight ahead. Place one foot directly in front of the other, heel of the front foot touching the toes of the back foot. Slowly take a step forward, placing the next heel directly in front of the opposite toes. Continue this pattern for 10 to 15 steps, then carefully turn around and repeat. Keep your core gently engaged, movements slow and deliberate. Exhale as you step forward. Inhale as you prepare for the next step. If this feels wobbly, that wobble is information. It means your balance system is being challenged. Practice alongside a wall or countertop so you can steady yourself if needed. As it gets easier, try gently turning your head side to side as you walk. This forces your balance system to adapt to divided attention, exactly the kind of challenge real life throws at you constantly. Always make sure the surface is clear before you begin. A viewer named Helen, 67 years old, began with just a few steps each day, holding on to her hallway wall for support. She felt embarrassed at first at how difficult such a simple thing was. Within weeks, she was confidently walking the full length of her living room heel to toe without touching the wall once. She told me it gave her something she hadn't felt in years. Not just steadiness, trust. Trust in her own body. Trust that her feet would be there when she needed them. That's what this exercise gives you. And that trust, that's worth more than any piece of gym equipment ever made. If you've made it this far, I want you to know something. The fact that you're here, watching this, taking notes, thinking about your body and your future, already puts you ahead of most people. Because the women who stay strong and independent into their 70s and 80s aren't the ones who are naturally gifted. They're the ones who decided to do something, consistently, even when it was just a few minutes a day. With these 5 exercises, you've targeted every key muscle group that keeps you strong, steady, and confident. Your glutes, your calves,
your legs, your hips, and your balance system. Strengthening these areas doesn't just make movement easier, it lowers your fall risk, improves your posture, boosts your energy, and gives you back the kind of freedom most people assume they have to give up with age. No gym membership, no expensive equipment, no complicated routines. Just your own body, a clear space, and the decision to show up for yourself. Even practicing a few of these movements each day can lead to noticeable changes in as little as 4 weeks. Picture yourself standing up from a chair without reaching for the armrest, walking across uneven ground without slowing down, climbing stairs without holding on. That level of independence is not out of reach. It's 4 weeks away. Your health after 50 is not determined by luck. It's shaped by what you choose to do today. And every single time you show up for these exercises, you are making a deposit into your future self. A future where you move freely, live fully, and need help from no one unless you choose to accept it. Now it's your turn. Which of these 5 exercises do you feel will help you the most right now? Tell me in the comments below. Your answer might be exactly what another woman needs to read to take her first step today. If this video was valuable to you, subscribe to Senior Women Fitness and turn on the notification bell. Every week, I bring you simple, practical movements backed by real research designed specifically for women over 50 who refuse to let age write their story for them. Share this with a friend, a sister, a mother, or someone you care about who deserves to feel stronger and more confident every single day. One share, one woman's life changed. Where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. I'm always listening, and I'll see you in the next one.